Hello everyone, my name is Andre McClendon and today I got a different type of video for you guys. This one I'll be talking about what is happening with the world economy, who's controlling it, who are the key players, and what you guys can do to win or have a better outcome with this world, basically this craziness is happening. So, to spin it off right off guys, we got the Democrats and Republicans, we got both sides of government supposedly supposed to be helping us. For me, guys, these guys are against you. They're for their own interest. They are trying to basically take as much power, stay in power as long as possible, keeping you guys more economically poor and keeping more people attached and dependent on the government. Because this person, Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell of the Fed, even the World Economic Forum, they don't care about you. They're ruining the markets and distorting things as much as possible so they can have more people dependent on them. And we have a whole bunch of these companies, not saying explicitly these, but big companies out against you, limiting your speech, limiting as much as they can against you. So if you guys want to find a very funny video, that's something that will probably make you laugh, there's this about 30-minute video called The American Dream. If you have time, just Google it. Just type in The American Dream film. It's a cartoon. It's really funny. I'll have it in the description box below, but check it out. Because this distortion, what's happening to the markets, and this recession we're about to go into, or we're already in it, is going to make things extremely hard. So let's get into some, factual information happening. Right now, the U.S. national debt is sitting at $30 trillion. It just keeps on ticking away faster and faster and faster. Now, this is not mutually exclusive to the United States. This is happening around the entire world. If you do debt clock to China, debt clock Japan, debt clock to most other countries, you will see that this thing is just spinning and spinning. But debt to who? Who owns the debt? Who's controlling the debt? You got to think about it. Now, with debt, it means control. If you keep the people in debt, they have less free money, less capital to do things, set themselves up, and with that type of control, guys, this is basically a domino effect. Crash the markets, keep the people dependent, food shortages, stuff like that's happening. But what I do want to show you guys is important. If you look at the Fed's balance sheet is exploding even more. It's gone hyperbolic. Now, gold hasn't caught up. I think precious metals is one of those things that people should own to help protect them against this basically craziness that's happening. Also, just to show you some amazing things. The federal funds rate. You can see the manipulation that's happening. Essentially, if you look at the 2008 crash, right? And since then, they crashed it down to zero, basically zero. And now they're manipulating it even more. There's so much manipulation is happening in the markets that there is no, there's no price discovery mechanism. So the government's controlling the prices, which is manipulated by big companies and outside sources, causing the markets not to be fair and setting up people for basically failure. Now, when it comes to even our inflation rate and how we used to measure it versus how we do it now, inflation is sitting at 6.28%. This is a bunch of BS basically. They're trying to suppress the numbers as much as possible to have less fear. But inflation is a lot higher and it's going to keep on continuing higher. And this is something why I think precious metals will kick in and why it would be better to get into those now. And I'm going to show you some prices and stuff, why it is to get in now to buy the dip and why the prices are relatively cheap before they go even more expensive. Get in early, basically. And another thing that I'm talking about is the dollar. Now, the dollar is the reserve currency in the world. Most transactions end up using the dollar. Now, when it comes to the dollar has been going up. Now, this might not last forever, but this is a good thing now because this gives you time to plan another thing outside of precious metals. And this is what my other aim is international investments. Anything that's measured outside of dollars is typically going to be a lot cheaper going from dollar to that currency. Now, if that's happening, for me, I like looking at dividend stocks of international countries or international companies, so you can get some, get some income coming through. So when buying it one cheap because the dollar's really high, and then if the dollar crashes, then your investment should typically reverse and go even higher. But that's one thing. What's one other thing that I'm doing is international investments. If you have any questions about that, just let me know in the comments box. I'll talk to you guys about it, because I think this is a great time to look at international investments and precious metals. Now we'll look at silver. Start off right back. I think owning silver is way more. It'd be a lot better than owning gold, but I think owning both is important. Now, silver was sitting at almost $30, and now it's sitting at $20. So $20 on the spot just to get 1 ounce of silver. Now let's go look at this right here. This is a 1 ounce silver round. If you want to buy it, it's sitting at $27. If you buy 1 through 19 quantity, buy a little bit more, get a little bit more of a discount. It's a huge disconnect. Like if you look at the spot price. But if you were buying it earlier, you were buying silver at like $32, $35, $36. Almost near $40 for the silver eagles. Now, this is a huge discount time to be buying, and that's why I'm buying also, is I think that silver is going to explode or even much, much higher. Now, if it keeps heading down lower, I hope it goes to the 13s and 14s, then I can buy even more, and even more people can prepare for the craziness that's going to be, unloaded upon us because of basically this person, these guys, these crazy people, and a lot of these companies who are self-interested in their woke agenda, basically. Now, when it comes to gold, guys, gold is also making a pretty significant dip. And if you look at the entire chart of gold, you can see that this is a great time, in my opinion, to start buying the physical of gold. Now, if you're trading, you guys, be careful about, there's large swings in it, and there's a lot of spreads, and the swap costs, the daily fees associated when buying gold and silver are there because they don't want you to hold on to gold and silver long term while trading it, so you guys get hit with that negative fee. Now, that's basically the special. If you want to check that out, go on MetaTrader 4 or 5, click on specialization, and they'll tell you what the rates would be. Now, let's look at gold too. So gold, this is one thing that I like to buy, the Canada 1 ounce maple leaf. Now, this thing's sitting at basically almost $2,000, but it's a lot cheaper than it was a few months ago. So please, guys, understand that this is a great time to look at these things right now. That's what I'm looking at, because I think inflation is going to go out of hand. I think that prices and food shortages are going to be out of hand, and I think a good hedge to help protect yourself is precious metals and international investments. Let's see. Now, guys, that's my spill about what I think is happening, and I think who the culprits are. You got these guys who truly don't care about you. They talk real big on TV, but when they vote, they pretty much vote the same. Bigger government, basically. And these people, I think they just do not care about you or me. They just care about owning more and having more power. Basically, you will own nothing and be happy. We'll be all renters for the rest of our lives. Ugh, craziness in that. But please, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.